Hey, my name is Ciara Judge. I'm a Nissan Generation Next ambassador, and I have had a very busy March, so I'm just going to get straight down to it. So my month actually began in London, of all places, because I was invited to number 10 Downing Street for the launch of the Founders of the Future. So the Founders of the Future is basically a community of young people who have already started organisations or businesses or have been identified as having the potential to start them. So going forward into the world of entrepreneurship, I think it'll be a really good community to pull from. We'll be having meetings all over the place in the future, and I'm just really looking forward to learning from my peers, gaining advice, connections, and I think it'll be a really good support network. The evening was so lovely. There were some really engaging speeches and interesting speeches, but also it was the conversations that were had at number 10 they were fantastic because it was young people of similar mindsets getting together to trade ideas. So literally the day after the launch of the Founders of the Future, I hopped on a plane and jetted over to New York City for the 3.dash Just Peace Summit. So the summit was, I suppose, a gathering of young people from all over the world who run organisations that provide one of 7 basic needs for people. So my organisation was Germinate, and it provides food. And we were identified by the We Are Family Foundation as global teen leaders. So the We Are Family Foundation was founded in the wake of the September 11th terrorist attacks by Nile Rodgers, who's like a Grammy Award-winning musician and an all-round good guy and philanthropist. And they brought us together for the week to help us not only to teach us more about peace and a message about how peace and our impact on the world can shape it, but also to give us resources and advice on how to continue with our organisations. Now, as part of this, I actually was matched with a mentor, which was chosen for me by the We Are Family Foundation, and they could not have got it more right. So my mentor is Maurizio, and he's the Senior Vice President of Global Good and Research at Intellectual Ventures. Now, if that name sounds familiar, is because Intellectual Ventures is a project by Bill Gates. So he's actually one of the senior advisors to Bill Gates, and I'm already learning so much from him, and I'm really looking forward to the next year to bringing Germinate innovations forward with Emer and with him. This week was an incredible experience. I can't even begin to put into words how much it changed my life. But I bonded so much with my fellow global teen leaders. There were 30 of us from all over the place, and I still talk to them every day, and they are now my family. So I have a second family all over the world, which is pretty amazing. And the network that I've been introduced to because of the We Are Family Foundation and because of 3.dash is just, there is so much potential here, and I just can't wait to see what comes from it.
Oh baby, you should go and love yourself. And if you think that I'm still holding on to something, you should go and love yourself.
So interestingly, while I was at 3.dash, I was actually in 2 places at once. If you remember from last month's vlog, I mentioned that I've become a youth ambassador for UNICEF. So they wanted me to speak at their summit last March, which unfortunately I was in New York at the time. What I did is I created a video for them based on the theme, Be Your Own Superhero. So encouraging everyone to use their superpower or their talent to go out there and change the world. And I wasn't there, but I heard that it went down pretty well, and it was very cool to be in New York but also be addressing an audience back home in Ireland. And ask yourself, what superhero will you be? So 3.dash actually wasn't the only thing that I did when I was in New York. After the summit, myself and some of my global teen leader brothers and sisters actually had the opportunity to go to the UN to be part of the Youth Assembly on the Commission on the Status of Women. So this was a fantastic opportunity. As a feminist myself, we got to be part of drafting a document with our recommendations for CSW 60, which happened the week after our agenda, and which was taken into consideration during the commission. So I think it was a really good example of young people having a voice and actually being part of active change. And being in the UN, there was this great feeling of potential and youth empowerment. So it was definitely an experience I'll never forget. So then I did eventually make it home to Ireland, and then just as I arrived home, I saw that the feature, which I had done the interview and photo shoot for last month, had been published in LSN Global magazine. So that was really nice to see. I actually haven't seen it on the site itself because I'm not a member of LSN Global, but I got sent screenshots of it. It's a really nice article. The photos are lovely too. And it was nice to be able to share my perspective as a young person and to have that listened to. So just because I hadn't done enough this month, on St. Patrick's Day, unfortunately I missed St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, I hopped on a plane and headed over to Brussels to do some work for the European Commission. So Slovakia has EU presidency for the second half of this year, from July, and as part of that they are issuing a Bratislava Declaration of Young Researchers. So I had the honour at only 18 years old, which, you know, I'm still in shock over, of being asked to come in and consult and write part of the declaration. So this was definitely something that it was a very new experience for me. I've always kind of done either speaking or like physical research. I've never kind of done anything politics related or legislation related, but it was a huge learning experience for me, and I'm looking forward to keep working on that with my co-authors over the next few months, and it will be published in July, so keep an eye out for that. So I think that is all for this month. As you can see, it was pretty busy, but I wouldn't have traded any of those experiences for the world. In general, my life is kind of busy, but next month should be kind of interesting because the leaving cert is fast approaching and I have my music practical and my orals, so everybody wish me luck. I am of course keeping up with the driving, just kind of waiting for my test at this stage. And everyone out there, Nissan Generation Next is looking for its next cohort of ambassadors. I would really advise that you put yourself out there and sign up if you are involved in entrepreneurship, sport or anything, because honestly the freedom that this program has given me is incredible, and 100% you should look for that freedom too. So I think that's about it. So I hope everyone had a wonderful March, a happy and healthy Easter, and we'll have a fantastic April. Bye!